All right, Dumelang. Hello, how are you? Sanmonani, salam alaikum. Welcome you all. This is actually my first lesson, right? And already, like I said, straight into business. We're not playing here. We're engineering students. We're not playing, right? We're going to talk about shafts. Shafts. If you hear already, that means you know what I'm talking about. Shafts, something like this. They're circular, yeah, shafts. Like I said, I'm gonna try to be as concise as I can so that you can understand, right? So I'm just gonna explain a couple of things before we get into tutorials, right? So yeah, this is a shaft. Shaft is an A, shaft, right? And then balanced by bearings. Most of the time they are at the end, yeah, bearings, right? And then on the shaft you can find it can be a gear, right? And then there can be a pulley. You can find a gear and a pulley, right? Now before talking about this shaft itself, let's talk about the gear first. The gear, all right? One gear, this gear itself. On this gear is something like this, but then I'm sure you already know, because how you doing engineering without knowing what a gear is? Are you dumb? I'm joking. You're not dumb. You're not dumb, right? There's a gear, right? And there's two forces acting on it. Two forces acting on it. BEP, right? And BEP, right? Which is tangential force and the radial force, right? Is FT and FR. Tangential force and the radial force. This is easy to remember. Tangential, bro, grade 12. Tangentially, yeah. And then radial is going vertically downwards, yeah. And the radial force, right, in the y direction. So there's two forces acting on it, right? And then, bro, this, okay, two forces acting on it. And also there's what? Yes, this gear is producing a torque, right? Producing a torque, right, which is measured in Newton per meter, right? And then this torque, there's some couple of formulas that I'm gonna write down, right? Like the relations between the tangential force, the radial force, and the torque, right? So the couple of forces that I'm gonna couple of formulas that I'm gonna write down, which is formula number 1, right? For the gears, formula number 1 is gonna be the torque, right, is equals to the tangential force over the R, right? Yeah, this is the torque, and this is the tangential force, and this is the R, right? And then number 2 is the tangential force, or sometimes you can call it tangential load, right? Tangential load is equals to no, not the tangential load, bro. Radial, bro. Come on, are you dumb? Come on. The radial force, right? The radial force, this one, the radial force, FR, is equals to the tangential load, which is the WT or FT. I'm used to writing it as FT, FWT, FT, tan, angle of contact, right? Okay, like I'm just gonna try to make it easy for you guys to remember. So there's two forces here. There's two formulas here. The torque is equal to the tangential force over the R, and the radial force is equal to the tangential force multiplied by tan, and then this is the angle of contact. angle of contact, angle of contact, angle of contact, right? So yeah, I think that's all. If I'm missing something, then I'll come back to it, right? But then I don't think I'm missing anything. Okay. Now we're done with the game. Let's come to the pulley. This I'm just summarizing everything so that it's easy for you to solve the tutorials, right? And I'm also gonna be giving out some tips. Now let's come to number 2, which is the pulley, right? Pulley, right? Pulley. This is where the shaft goes in. The pulley has 2 tensions, right? Can be tension 1 and tension 2, right? So it can be the tightest and the slackest, right? And then another thing, the formula concerning the pulley, right? And with the tension, they can go in any direction. They can go in the horizontal, and they can go in the vertical, in the y direction. T1, T2, right? So yeah, but then you'll see everything once we get to do a question. Yeah, once we get to attempt a tutorials, we get to see everything, right? And then the formulas concerning the pulley, right, is the torque, because yeah, there's a torque here. Yeah, there's the torque is equals to T1 minus T2, which is the tightest, minus the slackest, right, multiplied by the radius of the pulley, right? This is like the main formula, right? And then also obviously be given a ratio. If not, you can find it yourself. Like maybe they might say T1 over T2 is close to a certain ratio. Say it's equal to 0.25. Yes, these are the formulas, right? And then formula number 3, maybe you can have T1 cos. Okay, you can have T if there is a this angle of contact, if there's a groove angle, yes, if there's a groove angle, then you want to have to know this formula, 2.3 log, right, log T1 over T2. Yeah, it's T1 over T2. T1 over T2 is equals to the coefficient of friction, yeah, multiplied by the angle of contact, cosec, and half of the groove angle. Yes, yeah, it's this one, cosec is 2.3 log, and then tension 1 over tension 2 is equals to coefficient of friction, the angle of contact, and I'm multiplied by cosec, and then half of the groove angle, right? And what, like I said, going straight into things. I'm not going to teach you a couple of unnecessary things that you won't even get in your tutorials, right? I'm going straight. And also okay, I think this most of everything, right? And then before I conclude this video and go to attempt the tutorial, I just want to give out tips. What the fuck? Okay, luckily we have a lot of books. Luckily I have a couple of books, so I can write anyway. Alright, so I'm just gonna be giving out a couple of tips while attempting this tutorials. Tip number 1, tips, right? Tip number 1, right, in a gear set, let me say this is a gear set. This is a gear has a couple of teeth, right? And also there's a pinion, of course. P, pushing P. Yeah. Okay, this is the pinion. And this is the gear, spare gear, yeah, you know. This is the gear itself, right? This is the driver. This is the driver. And this is the driven. It's driven, right? So one thing you have to be careful of, most of the time was given that this gear is the only one that is connected to the shaft, right? So the torque from here, the torque that is being produced by the pinion, is not going to be the same as the torque that is going to be on the gear. And also that means what? That means the torque that is on the shaft is not going to be the same torque that is produced by the pinion, right? But then you get to see that once you attempt the tutorials. What I'm trying to say is that they might give you everything, like example, they might give you power, right? Power and speed, right? Telling you that all these things that given, they are off the pinion. Of the pinion, right? And don't forget, the pinion is only connected to the gear. So the power, the torque that you find here, is still gonna have to find the new torque of the gear, which is the torque that is gonna be distributed to the shaft. I hope you understand me. And like I said, it's gonna be easier when we do tutorials, right? Don't worry, I got you. It's gonna be easier when we do tutorials, right? And then, bro, is this the only tip that I have? Sheesh. Okay, I think there's another tip, but I'm forgetting. But then these things are easy when you do the tutorial. For now, just know this. Just know that the torque on the pinion is not entirely does not entirely mean that is the torque on the shaft, right? So there's a torque on the pinion, there's a torque on the gear, right? Okay. And also don't forget these formulas. Don't forget. Do not forget, because I'll whip your ass if you forget. Tangential force, radial force, right? And there's a torque, there's angle of contact, right? There's a groove angle, right? And Pulley, and then this is the coefficient, no, this is the ratio of the tightest and the slackest, right? And here it can be like this. You can have a gear, boom, 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 right? And have a pulley, and pulley, boom, boom, right? Yeah, pulley having two tensions, the slackest and the tightest. So don't forget this. I'm just summarizing everything, but then this is mostly everything that you're gonna need to attend the tutorial that we're gonna be doing in the future, right? So in the next video we're gonna be doing some tutorials. So and bro, don't forget what I'm trying to do. Not forget. I hate niggas that forget. Even I had to conquer that demon of that is making me forget. But then if you don't forget, you're gonna come out on top. Like I said, don't forget all this. And also please guys, don't forget to like, yeah, don't forget to like and subscribe, please, pretty please. Yeah. And then the next video we attempting tutorials, we designing a shaft here. Let's go, my engineering students, let's go. And then that's my cue. Yeah, I'm out.